Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Friday Live at ADRP. Today we'll cover a few topics, but the very first one is that we are lucky enough to have on Facebook video chat Mr. Shane Tucker. So I'll just pop the camera around for us all. And there's the man himself right there. Shane, how you doing?
Good, guys. How you doing?
Yeah, we're good. So we've been testing this for the last 5 minutes and it was all good. As soon as I transferred to you, I had a freeze frame of you, but it looks like you're back, so it's all good.
Yep, all good, all good.
All right, now you've been traversing the world of late. See your European holiday. Was that holiday or business?
It was actually business, yeah. We had a new company that we're doing some business with in Germany, so... Well, I say it's business, but we made a couple of trips to see some boys over there and had a bit of fun. So, made a bit of mix with business and pleasure, I guess. But, yeah, mainly business.
Wouldn't be a Shane Tucker trip without a little bit of pleasure thrown in.
Mate, you're throwing me under the bus here because the guys at work this is just stitching me up.
Working very hard on the European arm of the... How do I pronounce it? ASMAT?
Osmet.
Osmet. Excellent. All right. Well, it's now a bi-continental company. You've got your American company up and going, and obviously your home company here. You've opened an office in our hometown down here in Melbourne.
Yep.
And the American company obviously doing well enough to what we're talking about today, getting that beautiful race car of yours back on the track.
Mate, yeah. I guess the whole goal when we went back into it is. The reason we parked the whole team was had an opportunity to start a business in Texas, and I knew it was going to be a bit of a long road, but I guess didn't know the market in Texas really well. So as it turns out, it was probably another year longer than I thought, but we put those steps in place, so we wanted to be back here and run in the NHRA for and try and maintain the race by race program with our pro stock deal, and didn't want to really do it half-hearted. So I didn't want to come back, run a race, and go away.
Okay.
So it feels like it's the right time, and business is good at the moment. So look, we take it one step at a time, and see how things go, I guess.
All right. And with you taking that little bit of time away, there's been a few changes, obviously, in NHRA Pro Stock. It's now a no bonnet scoop electronic fuel injection category. Yeah.
Well, look, there's probably been almost half a dozen changes since we raced. They changed to a different tyre in Pro Stock, changed from VP Fuel to Sunoco. They've also, obviously, the most noticed change is the EFI and the no scoop. So for us, it's definitely been a challenge. But you know what? I mean, there's never a right time to make these decisions, and you can't go out to a factory, dealership and buy a car with carburetors on it. So it's the way it need to go. It's just everyone need to suck it up and make the changes. And I think everyone's adapted to it fairly well. Obviously, there's some teams that adapted to it quicker than others, but they're starting to close the gap up now. And obviously, the next 7 races for us from India are pretty exciting with what we've got coming up.
Awesome. All right. Now, I am remiss. We've jumped straight into your American racing. For those few people who haven't had the internet or television for the last 20 years, Shane Tucker's not a new kid on the block. Am I correct in saying that you started your drag racing career here in a junior?
Yeah, I was about 11 actually when I started, and finished up when I was 16, and then took about a 3 or 4 year hiatus, and my dad gave me an opportunity to drive a pro stock car, and obviously any 19-year-old kid's probably going to jump at the chance of that. So ended up doing some laps in his car, and went to the first race, and was fortunate enough the first year we ran fairly well, and got an opportunity in the US here, and have made some inroads since then. But yeah, it's been a up and down sort of, I guess, 11 years in pro stock, but I'm positive about the future with the racing over here. Everyone's sort of up and down with the way the direction's going with pro stock and stuff, but I think I'm confident with the decisions they've made and what direction we're going to. So I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right. Well, now looking forward. Thank you for that lovely segue. You've tell me, is it your engine program that you'll be running with you coming back? I know your dad's been showing us he's working hard in building the new factory, building the new engines, building the whole new race team over there. Your mum's a bit worried about how hard he's working some days. So what's the plan for, you mentioned you were going to test next week at Memphis and then run the big go. Tell us a little about the program you put together.
Yeah, we've been working on our engine program, gathering parts and stuff together probably for the last, I guess, better part of 6 months, probably 12 months altogether. And I guess the biggest thing was we didn't have a race shop to run out of. We had an old sponsor of ours that we were running out of in Mooresville, and that worked really well, and they were great to us. But, nothing lasts forever, and unfortunately the business was sold, so we really needed to move into a facility of our own. So my dad, Rob, he's a bit of a handyman, and hooked in and started building the shop over the last 12 or 14 weeks. And when he gets something in his head, he's fairly relentless with it. So he's just about wound up finishing the shop, so I guess he's going to hook into the engine program. And my whole deal is, we want to go racing, and I want to be out there racing and competing for wins. I don't want to be out there just making up the numbers. So I guess long story short, I had a meeting with the folks at Elite Motorsports yesterday with Richard Freeman and those folks, and we struck a deal that I think it's going to put us right at the forefront. I mean, you see how those guys have turned their program around in the last, 2 or 3 races, and it's put them right at the pointy end, and that's suits our deal, down to a T. I mean, we haven't got enough laps under our belt. I'm sure it's going to take a little bit of time, but these pro stock deals there's no substitute for horsepower. When they make power, you get them around the money, and generally they'll go A to B and they'll be fast.
Yeah, well, we certainly have. Those of us who have been watching you and Pro Stock in general over there, the difference between first and 17th can be a couple of hundredths of a second, and that's horsepower, and I guess a little bit of pressure firmly on those square shoulders of yours.
Yeah, make sure I go to bed early and get a good night's rest, I guess. But you know what? It's Pro Stock in the US. It certainly can be very humbling. You think you got to sort it out and make a good lap, and you might be 100th quicker or 200th quicker than the round before, and all of a sudden everyone else crushes you by 3 or 4. I mean, you just got to be on your game. You need to make perfect runs. So the biggest thing is going out, making sure we get the car where it needs to be. And fortunately, with the team that we're running with, I mean, they need no introductions. Jed Coughlin, Erica Enders, and Vincent Noville. I mean, they're our teammates. So, these guys have been doing it for a long time, and between them, I think they've got 7 or 8 championships. So, I mean, there's 3 other cars that we can share information from, and hopefully it puts us right at the front of the pack. And
pretty awesome racing with those guys. I mean, you would have grown up with some of those names as your heroes.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. It's a little bit daunting when you go out and rolling in the water and you've got Jed Coughlin in the other lane rolling next to you. But, sometimes I guess you just got to take a step back and realise that they wake up the same and put their pants on the same as you do, and not let it get you.
Awesome. Now, totally off topic for a second. I've just noticed your sister's going to make a comment that I don't think I'm ever going to hear Kirsten say again, and that is, can Shane speak up a little because we can't hear him?
Well, actually, she broke a rib. She's down at the snowboarding. So, hopefully she figures it out next. I told her next time, take a lesson.
Very cool. All right. Well, that's a bit better. You're speaking up nice and clear, so we can make sure we get a cheeky poke out to her. So, all right. So you're going to test at Memphis next week. So that's now only less than 7 days away, I would imagine.
Yeah. I think we're going to roll out here on Thursday and run Friday, Saturday, potentially Sunday if we have to. The truck will head straight to Indy after that, park up, and I guess we'll kick things off the following Friday. So goal is when we leave Memphis, we leave no stone unturned. And I mean, these things, like I said, you get the power right, and these guys have been running all season. So, I mean, our race car it might be a different chassis, but I mean, in the end, you get a setup right, and it's a sweet spot with them. I mean, there's no secret to, setting one of these cars up. It's what the car wants. You just need to read what the car wants, I guess. So I'm hoping we can figure it out, in the 3 days that we're there. So, when we go to Indy, we're going to roll in the gate, to take round wins and not just to make up numbers.
Awesome. Now, you talk about, what the car wants, and obviously that's a lot of feedback from yourself. There's more data collection now than there ever has been before. But NHRA posted a video, I think, today talking about you pro stock drivers making 4 gear shifts in 5 seconds. There's a lot to do inside that car for you.
Yeah, there is. Look, in the end, I mean, it's a different process, I guess. Top Fuel and Funny Car, they've got their process and they do a fantastic job driving, and making consistent runs. But, between pro stock cars, it's the same deal. I mean, you lead first, make sure you, get the clutch out on time, and by the time you roll out, about 9/10 of a second, the second gear shifts on, and about 7/10 later, the third shifts on. So you just need to make sure you make consistent runs more than anything. If you can be consistent and make your run after run the same, then the guy tuning the car, it's easier for them. Because, he can adjust to the way you drive. If you start changing your routine and driving differently, then, he'll make a change, and then you'll counteract for that, and it'll be different every time. So I think I try and pride myself on, just being the same every time. And, it might not be the quickest way to the front, but hopefully we get it figured out.
Okay, now these American pro stock cars at 500 cubic inches, how hard are you turning these at the shift points, Shane?
Look, they put a rev limiter on them to 10,500 this season, but when I ran it 2 seasons ago, I think we were running about 11,500. So some of the other cars are running them to 11,800, almost 12,000, I believe. So I mean, you're talking the things that are like over 8 litres, and they're turning to 12,000 RPM. So it's fairly impressive.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, we've taken enough time of yours, a late night on Thursday night over there now for you. So thank you so much for your time. We wish you the very best of luck in testing. We'll all be watching closely, so make sure you give us plenty of updates, and we'll push that out on our ADRP page so that everyone can keep up with the Tuckers. And again, thanks so much for your time, mate.
I will, man. Look, and just between you and I, guys, I really appreciate what you guys are doing back there. Brett and Nicole, you guys are doing a fantastic job. It's not an easy feat with the whole, schmozzle that was going on with Australian drag racing. But, mate, hats off to you for jumping in and taking the reins on that. So hopefully everyone's watching. I'm sure my mum will be posting plenty over the next 2 weeks. Awesome.
All right. Well, we'll say goodbye to you, and I'll wind up for everybody else. But thank you for those kind words. And, yeah, look, it's a support that you know what passion's like, and we're all passionate that we need to get this back to where it needs to be. So best of luck, and thanks for your time.
Thanks, guys. Hopefully I'll be talking to you in 2 weeks and big smile on our face.
That sounds like a plan, mate. I'll hold you to it.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Thanks, Shane. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So that was a very, very candid, short interview with Shane. We're very excited to have had him on the line. A couple of things that we guess we need to talk to you about now is the upcoming Fun Day Sunday at Calder Park this weekend. The weather's not looking too flash, apparently, but we really hope that you all get out there and support Calder. There's a car close to my heart going out, a blown EH, so best of luck to Rad. I hope that goes really well. Of course, we've also got the following weekend, you've got the Mildura guys and the Nostalgia meeting on. So make sure you hit up Mildura's Sunset page, get the details, and support that event. And Swan Hill, we all know what a great effort they're all doing up there and getting their first event off the ground. So make sure you, again, hit their Facebook page up and their website, get the information, and support that event. Thanks so much for tuning in today. We were very lucky to get Shane. We've been trying to pin that interview down for about 2 years, so it's pretty exciting to get him on the new coming of the injected version and them heading to Indy, the big go. So great. All right, guys, take care. Be safe out there, and we look forward to talking to you Monday with a wrap-up of what the weekend sports held. Thanks. Ciao.